Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, good evening. Hi. Welcome to another Monday Night Live at Cafe Gratitude. Yay. Did you guys have a good Easter? Yeah? We had an amazing Easter. I slightly overindulged, so I'm a little bit low energy today. Forgive me. I want to tell you we're having our first food demo for Monday Night Live tonight. So this is Abeba Wright. She's pretty excited about it, and we're all excited about it. I'm gonna just, before I can't even turn the mic over to her. We only have a handheld mic. So I'm gonna kind of be sitting to the side, holding the mic for Abeba while she goes through her demo. So tonight, Abeba Wright, she was here last year. We had absolutely no demos last year. All the chefs loved it. They came and they just got a chance to talk. This year it was requested that we try to do a few demos, and Abeba was the first brave soul to actually agree to do a demo. So Abeba Wright, known as the Crazy Cracker Lady, is here tonight to do what she does best, show us how to make those crazy crackers. The author of 3 best-selling raw recipe books, absolutely Abeba's Crazy Crackers, absolutely Abeba's Edible Treats, and I love this, absolutely Abeba's Lip Smackin' Favorites. Let's give her some love and appreciation for volunteering to be the first person to try and use Monday Night Live to do a food demo. No one else has wanted to. Here's Abeba.
Well, can you hear me? Can you hear me without the mic?
We need you for the recording.
Okay, well, let me just say something. First of all, I really appreciate Shea asking me to come back. I really enjoyed coming up here last year. Last year it was actually Labor Day, I believe it was. And she had asked me, we had met in Santa Rosa at a raw food festival, and it was fantastic. And she said, really, I'd like you to come and speak. I said, okay, so I just assumed that it was going to be doing a cracker demo because that's what people call me for, to do a demo. And she said, no, there's really no room for that. We just want you to talk about whatever you want to talk about. And so I just really didn't know. And so I prayed about it, and I said, what am I going to talk about? And I was doing something in my dining room, and I said, I have to make some adjustments. And bingo, that was it. So the topic was, are you willing to adjust? And it wasn't just about food, it was just different things that go on in our life that we have to make adjustments on. And it turned out to be pretty good. So anyway, what I'm here to do now is talk about absolutely Abeba's Crazy Crackers. I'll just preface by saying that I've been a raw foodist since 2000, and one of the foods that I really, really love are crackers. That was my binge food of choice. I was a Ritz, Wheat Thins, Triscuit junkie. And after I started doing raw food, I knew I didn't want to go back to eating those kinds of food. And so I started looking in different raw food books to try to find some raw food crackers. And they may have 1 or 2, but generally they just try to focus on entrees, salads, salad dressings, and what have you. And so I said, I've got to learn how to do a cracker. And one of my mentors is Victoria Batenko, and I was at a raw food dinner that she was hosting, and she had something that looked like a cracker on the table, but I wasn't really sure, and that's what it was. And I said, if I can learn how to make crackers, I will continue with this lifestyle. Because one thing that happens is that once you start doing raw food, you want to find something familiar that you were always eating and that you really liked, but do it in a raw fashion. So crackers was what I really, really liked, and so I started kind of playing around, and I was going to different potlucks, and people were saying, who made these crackers? And I said, well, I did. And I was writing the recipes down over and over and over again. I said, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just going to do a book. So the first book is, make sure I have that right, is absolutely Abeba's Crazy Crackers. Learn the secret to a good cracker. And you'll learn the secret to a good cracker as we continue on with the demo. The second book, that book, by the way, came out in 2003. The second book, which is this one, is absolutely Abeba's Edible Treats, including more crazy crackers and cookies without nuts. A lot of people who do raw food, you know, we want those comfort foods, more dense foods, and so we tend to use a lot of nuts, but it can be kind of taxing on our body. So I decided, let me make a book that has something that doesn't use all these nuts. This is fabulous. And one of the, we have a tray of crackers and cookies, just one cookie that's on the tray, and it's in this book. It's the granola cookie. And that particular one you can eat as a cookie or break up. And if you like oatmeal in the morning or granola in the morning, you can break it up, make some almond milk, and it's fantastic. Stephen can attest to that. He's had a few, you know, for the last couple of days. And then the next book, which is the latest book, hot off the press, is being unveiled here right at Monday Night Live, is absolutely Abeba's lip-smacking favorites. It is wonderful. The pate that's on the table there is called Absolutely Abeba's Pate. I like to use my name a lot, as you can see. Anyway, the pate is screaming. It's an almond base. It's got a lot of other good things in there. And my cut the cheese, which people have been wanting that recipe, it's in here. It's no dairy in there. A lot of people use nutritional yeast to get a cheese taste. I do not use nutritional yeast. My kale mixed green salad, there's a number of recipes in here, but without further ado, we're going to get on with doing a demo here to show you what we're doing. I'm going to put those books there. One of the crackers that I want to just say that people are always asking about is my barbecue chip. It's very thin, and they always say, how did you get that cracker so thin? And how did you get it so round? Well, let me just say this. I don't use a magic spoon or anything. You just have to, I drop the crackers on the Teflon sheet, which you'll see that. And there is a technique to it, and the way you get it this thin, you do it in the Vitamix. And what I'm going to show you is the texture that it needs to be, because if it's too thick, it's going to be chewy. If it's too thin, it's going to break all up. Now, I could, and I think that I will since she's sitting next to me. The one thing that is the secret to Absolutely Abeba's Krazy Crackers. Who has the book that's here? Let's just show hand. All you guys got to get a book if that's the case, and I have plenty. But anyway, the secret to a Krazy cracker is the crunch. I don't know how many of you have had other raw food crackers, but some of them, you know, they're just not having it. And in my opinion, if you don't have crunch, it just doesn't make any sense. How did you like it? You had a couple
Fantastic.
of. Oh, that's so good. Make sure that you heard that on the. Okay, there you go. All right. So anyway, I'm gonna let Shea take a bite of this cracker, and what happens is it doesn't matter how close or far away you are. You need to be probably about right there. I swear. You can hear the crunch, and I know that I've done my job. Okay, so anyway, take that. And I won't put the mic up to you. Go ahead. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Okay. Oh, right back there. I love it. Okay, that is the secret to a Krazy cracker, a good cracker. You want a good cracker. I don't like chewy. I don't like real thick. You know what I'm saying? Okay, and then I'm going to also tell you, this is the onion ring that is made from the barbecue chip recipe. I use white onions because the red onions and the yellow onions, they just don't have the taste I'm looking for. You can use Walla Wallas or Vidalias because that's a sweet onion. Those are excellent. This cracker, or this chip, is also from the barbecue chip recipe, but I wanted to do some texture with it, so I added a few flax seeds to it and some sunflower seeds to it, so it's just a little different taste. And then this, can't really see it. Stephen thought that this was sun-dried tomato, but this is red bell pepper coated with the barbecue chip recipe. And what we're going to do is we're going to do two recipes. We're going to do the barbecue chip so that you'll know the exact texture to have it, because again, if it's too thick, it's going to be chewy. If it's too thin, it's going to break all up. It's going to have holes in it. It's just not happening. As she reaches over for the favorite onion ring that she loves there. Okay. Because tomatoes, right now, you know, it's kind of hard to get organic tomatoes. You can, but what I do is I will buy tomatoes at the peak season, and I will dry them myself because sun-dried tomatoes are very expensive, and you want to dry them in the Excalibur dehydrator, which is what I use, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But anyway, these are what they look like before we soak them, and what I do is before I put them in the Vitamix, I want to soak them just to kind of rehydrate them a little bit.